Yes, my people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another AFTV Live. I'm joined by Jordan. Jordan, how are you?
Good, brother. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very good. Let's just address. I'm gonna address the comments, people watching.
Straight in.
Straight in. I'm not gonna address the boring comment because Bunny, what do you want me to do? A backflip? Like, what's going on? This is a new show. We're gonna update you on what's going on in the transfer world. We are coming towards. This sounds mad, right? We're basically coming towards the end of the week, really, because tomorrow, bank holiday, Jubilee settings and all that. So. Yeah, so this is kind of the end of the week, so I thought I'd bring up all the news and kind of get with you and speak about, your idea of who you want to see come in, what you think is achievable, what you think is believable. There's a lot of news obviously coming around Gnabry today as well, which we'll discuss. But I want to address also the transfer daily. Now, I see in the comments everyone's waiting for it. I'm also a big fan of Robbie's transfer daily. I'm waiting for it as well. To update everyone, apologies, it was supposed to start today, but it's looking to start this Friday. So keep your eyes out and your ears close to YouTube and to AFTV. It will be back. It is on its way. Robbie will be feeding us with all the information we need to know around Arsenal and the transfers. But Friday, apologies, it hasn't come out today. Want to get it off there, get that all done. And Jordan, let's talk first, because we last did a show. We spoke about how Robbie spoke about 10 signings we need. We narrowed it down to about 6. From what I've been gathering and what I've read so far in transfer news around Arsenal, I believe it's going to be 4, if I'm completely honest. Because of the Eddie Nketiah new re-sign of his deal, the 5 years and the 100k a week, I think they're going to bring one other striker, which is looking to be Gabriel Jesus, which we'll speak about later. I think they're looking to bring in a midfielder. There's going to be a fullback, which might be an Aaron Hickey, which was discussed as well. He's obviously in the thumbnail. So that's 3. And then maybe, and hopefully, a winger in Serge Gnabry, a wide player, an attacker that can maybe play across the 3. But that's what I believe Arsenal are going with. That's from what I'm gathering so far. Let's just go straight away and ask you, because obviously Arteta said he's got limited funds this summer, and they're saying failure of not making top 4 is reason why they can't go all out, which is obviously for me it's BS. And I knew they were going to do that. Yeah. I knew Arsenal were going to do that, which is what frustrates me the most. But I'm going to say from what I've reading so far, it's looking like it's going to be 4. Hopefully, I'm pleasantly surprised it's not. Is 4 enough, Jordan, for Arsenal next season? Europa League, if they're good quality signings.
For me, no.
Okay.
And you got to ask yourself the question: enough for what? Is 4 enough to win the league? No. To get top 4? No. To get top 6? Probably is. Four good signings probably is enough to maintain top 6.
Right.
We don't want top 6.
No.
We want to get into top 4 again and kick on from there. So for me, no. On the last show we spoke about needing 6 players. I think we said we need in.
But
I still maintain that. But
4 were main. Out of the 6, we had 4 starters that went straight into the 11.
Which I think should be a forward, midfielder, a fullback.
Yeah.
And the third one, what was the fourth one? Was it a wide man?
A wide player,
Wide man. So if I personally need 2 midfielders just to go into the midfield. I'm a big Partey fan. Yeah. But I just think start of the season, game 1, if we're relying on Thomas Partey to be our main midfielder to play the bulk of the games this season, let's say he only plays league. Europa League, you put a different man out. 38 games. Do you have confidence that he can play even half of those 38 games?
But you have Xhaka and Elneny currently. Elneny signed back on.
We don't know
if Xhaka's going to stay, but Xhaka's
I'm putting them in a squad, man. So I'm assuming, come game 1, Cecil, Xhaka and Elneny will be squad, man.
We hope.
We hope. So if I get what I want, we'll get 2 midfielders in. 1 to go alongside Partey and 1 to push him to even start instead of Partey. I'm just not confident.
Wow.
You can't have your main midfielder, someone that you can't rely on to play the majority of games. What other top team does that? Who does that?
No, we went
Thiago doesn't start every game for Liverpool because he's got injury issues, but they've got Henderson, they've got Fabinho, they've got City. De Bruyne has now had a few injury problems. Cool. We've got, Bernardo Silva. It's light work.
They've got players that can rotate.
Even United, the quality of midfield isn't there, but somebody's going to play. Fred can play.
Yeah.
Pogba, no, he's gone now. So
we're going to talk about him as well.
We need to get him. For me, if we're serious, we need to have 2 midfielders in.
Okay.
We need to get them. So 2 midfielders. I'd go striker and a fullback. The wide man, and then we're going to get into Gnabry in a bit.
Yeah, we'll head to him next.
I would like Gnabry to come back. I'm not a big fan of people coming back. I'm not really a big fan of going back.
Oh, you're taking my questions early on.
That's just a metaphor for life for me.
Okay.
Going back's never a good. With Gyal, with players, with job.
Man said with gal.
It's
it's
more
true.
time than not.
It doesn't really work out.
It doesn't really work out second time round.
Okay, well let's look at some that, because that was going to do a whole section on this. Mad, you took it already. I was going to do a section on that and seeing who players that have returned and worked and who kind of haven't. Because Pogba returned, didn't really work. Yeah,
not all his fault, but it didn't work. Didn't work. Yeah.
Lukaku returned, didn't really work. So there's other things that, you know, for me, I know it's only a brief stint. Thierry returned. I've come back to Arsenal, different time in football, but still came back, worked really well, was perfect for both sides. But I'm kind of with that thought process as well, that, you know, it doesn't always work. We had links to Wilshere returning back to Arsenal. There was loads of other players.
Ramsey, I think, was
Ramsey. Like even I think Koscielny as well was linked to come back when was in dire need of players. But those three players you mentioned there, I didn't want to see them return. That was a complete no from me. I can't lie, Gnabry though is wetting my appetite in the sense that
I would maybe fit on this occasion. I would if the price is right. He's an elite wide midfielder, right winger.
Yeah.
He elevates our first 11. So if you could get me Gnabry for 50 mil?
Yeah, he's reported.
What's the report
reported price? I think I've got it here. I think it's around. Well, no, Bayern said they're happy to accept anything from 33 million and above, which is a steal.
Get it done.
Is a steal.
If you can get him for 40 mil, that's a good. And for me, because he can play left and right, he's better on the right, as I remember. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yes, he plays more right
on
wing.
the right. That's where Saka plays, but I don't mind that.
Why though? Why do you not mind that? Because he doesn't. What? So you saying he pushes Saka out the side?
I think he pushes Saka. I think he pushes Saka.
I think
he pushes Saka. No.
Out.
I think he makes Saka up his level. Do you know what I mean? Saka's progression in 2 years has been steady, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think if he kind of comes in, your concern is, do you piss him off, and do you think, well, if you're bringing in him, what's my future doing?
Well, there you go. Because is Saka, does he have the mentality where, you know, he gets pushed to be a better player, or like I said, like how you think I probably would take it? Oh, you're trying to move me on or maybe replace me?
I think if Saka is serious about being at Arsenal and wants to take Arsenal to the next level, he will take it as a challenge. Arsenal can't be affording to get involved in people's emotions and feelings.
Yeah, you don't like that. You don't like people doing that. You don't care about.
No, if Gnabry upgrades our attack, put him in. Saka's our guy. I love Saka. I think he's our best player.
He is.
But I want to win.
Yeah,
and
fair.
if this guy can either make us better or make Saka better, bring him in. So I wouldn't be upset about that. And then you can rotate him.
Has he ever been pushed? Has he ever been
Saka?
really? Has he ever really had competition?
No.
He's not.
He's had 2.5 years where he's kind of just been the guy. Now, okay, we want to be a serious team.
Oh, I wonder how he will react. Yeah, I wonder how if it will, because it can go either way. I mean. For me, when I was playing it, I didn't love it. I'm going to be honest, but football is the most difficult industry. It's so competitive. So at that level, you need to have that. But for a player like Saka, yeah, you're right. Since he's been in, really has gone from strength to strength. Hasn't really had anyone really.
I want to see him next year goes to the next level and really kick on and be. I want him to be the best young player in the country next year. Fact. I want to forget Foden, forget Gallagher, forget Trent. I want him to be that guy. But for him to be that guy, he's still a level below Trent. He's still a level below Foden for me.
Yeah,
he needs to be pushed. So I would bring in Gnabry because I think he elevates our 11, and I think he would push Saka as well.
Okay,
and he can play left. He can play on the left
both
as well.
sides. Yeah, he can play on both sides. I actually think so can Gnabry, to be fair. But he is heavily a right winger. He scored, I think, this season he scored 14 goals and got 5 assists, which is superb for a wide player, especially at Bayern as well. I wanted to ask you this: what player? Because this was. Very physical, very strong, very powerful, can beat a player one-on-one. For me, if he comes to Arsenal, he's coming in his prime. He's 26 years old, great numbers this season. Someone say the 1920 season, I think he hit like 12 goals, 10 assists, but still, now, he's really at his prime. What players have actually come to Arsenal in their prime? Now, we had a conversation upstairs about this, because I was like, Arsenal don't really do this. In the past years, Arsenal's looked like a retirement. I can't. This sounds harsh, like a retirement plan, but that's what it feels like. Like Chelsea, like Willian coming in, maybe the David Luiz, like they're coming towards the end of their careers, and they're coming to Arsenal. But what players are coming in?
One. I can think of, and even this maybe is a stretch.
I've got two. They gave 2 names upstairs in the office. I shut one down straight away. The first one was Kieran Tierney. I said he came injured actually, and so I don't know how he came in. I don't know how he came in his prime. But the other one, which I'll let you go yours, and I'll see if it matches.
I would argue Sanchez.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's legs in that. There's legs in
argue
that.
Sanchez, we got him in at his prime. We got him in the right age.
Yep.
You know, he'd done okay at Barca, didn't work out. We were the club I think he needed to kind of kick on and prove he's that elite winger, wide guy that we got. Bar him, I'm struggling, man.
Laurie said Aubameyang. And to be fair,
I thought about Aubameyang.
He came for Dortmund. He was scoring goals. He was at his prime, and he elevated as well. He came in his first season. He fit half a season. He hit after Craig. I think he hit 10 goals, double figures, and then in his second season, obviously hit golden boot and was smashing it from there and on. I think 20-something goals. I believe. So Aubameyang, I think
Aubameyang,
is a good shout.
That's a good shout.
But
your point is valid.
Yeah,
we don't buy the best at their best.
Yeah.
One of the things.
That was nuts.
Come on. We got bars.
Nice.
We generally buy youngsters, build them up, and then sell them.
Right.
Or we buy elite players on the way down. Do you know what I mean? So, but Gnabry would be a good sign. I think he would encourage other players to come as well. I think if people saw him coming in, I think, okay, that's an elite winger that Arsenal just signed. Yeah, I'll take it a bit more serious. Because really, the talk last night on Talk Sport was, are Tottenham ahead of us in terms of being an attraction for players?
Can I just, John, please can I cut you there?
Go for it.
This probably didn't happen. I may be getting on my high horse, but I did mention this in a show before about who's more. Are Arsenal more attractive now? Like, if you're a player looking at Arsenal, what's really putting you to come here? And I had this conversation on the shows. I had it with Robbie and whatnot, and a lot of people we kind of just went to. It's in London. And the name, or if you're a Haaland boy, you're staying for that. But
I don't think even London matters anymore much, because most people can play for a team in the Midlands and live in London.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
True.
And Liverpool is a big city. Manchester, I'm not sure London has the appeal. It's still the biggest city to be at in the country for sure. I think you look at Manchester and Liverpool, and I don't think it's that far ahead anymore. So even London's not appeal. The only thing for me we have an advantage of over Spurs is that I think we would pay more wages. But they have two other weapons, Conte and Champions League football.
Yeah. So technically, if anything, if we're going to talk on that conversation just a little bit longer, they are, for me, I think they're more attractive.
I think it depends what kind of player you are. So Gabriel Jesus has been linked to both clubs.
He has.
Now that'll be an interesting one, because I think we would offer significantly more money in wages than Tottenham would. Players want to get paid out here. But to go from winning the league, playing Champions League, to Europa League, don't know. But then again, Kane's there, Son's there. So does he make part of a front three? Does he rotate with Kane? Whereas at Arsenal, you're coming straight in. So I think they probably, for most players, they'd probably just shade it. But I don't think it's as clear cut as they were saying on TalkSport last night.
Okay, interesting.
I don't think it's a wrap.
Who was talking on it?
It was Jamie O'Hara,
of course. I had to throw that name on. Who wants to listen to him? Quickly, so just on the end of Serge Gnabry, obviously, he did an interview with Pro Direct Soccer and said like how it was the hardest decision to leave Arsenal, but it worked out. He said for both sides, but he says as a club, Arsenal are top. So he definitely misses it. I know he did that interview with Pro Direct. He said he speaks to the players
Cecil,
in London.
All these guys saying nice things, and it's like, oh, Arsenal's a great team. I had a great time there. One day I'll go back. Whatever. So
do you believe? So do you think Gnabry is a strong connection to come back to Arsenal? Or do you think it's more the fans that are really pushing it than the actual?
I think, as I say this every summer, and I told Rob this as well, every summer we're going to be linked to every player, and the fans get excited about it. You guys have to get excited about it, and we might get, and then nothing happens. Not more times than not.
Yeah.
Arsenal are a big club, and they were a big club. Arsenal are a biggish club. And also are a very good club that do well digitally online. So when you link a player to Arsenal as a journo or a content creator, whatever it is that you are, that does numbers. Don't buy all these rumors that we're linked to him and him and him and him and him. I'm not getting caught up in the nonsense. Until I see a shirt,
it's hard. It's hard not to though.
I know for me.
I know for you. I get it.
We spent 3 weeks bidding for the player, 2 more weeks negotiating, and then a week and turning us down.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not doing this. No. Be serious about your business. This is why I don't call Arsenal a big club anymore, because Arsenal don't act like a big club.
Yeah, don't get the job done.
Haaland got wrapped up in a week.
Yeah.
But that deal was being worked on from last year. We're bidding for players now. We're looking for players now.
Yeah, Tottenham signed a player as well.
Come on, man.
It's like they've done it faster.
I'm not buying the nonsense. This week we're linked to this guy and that guy, and we might get Osimhen, we might get Kessie, we might get him. I'm not in it. Just give me the picture with the shirt signed, and I'm cool.
It's part of the summer. It's part of the fans.
Part of your summer.
Yeah, but come on, as a fan.
I'm not giving it any headspace.
When there's no football, we hold on to what could be. What could be? Come on, you gotta get involved, man.
We could have got so and so and so and so, and then we don't get no one.
I hear it. No, I hear it. We got
wasting my time.
We got a comment here. I just saw one here. Let's see what. So Ben Headphone says 40 million, and Gnabry wants a 5-year, 300 grand contract. Hence, the Bayern don't want to give him a new contract.
He won't get that.
That's $100 million investment in little resale value at end of contract. He would definitely get that here as well.
He won't get that anywhere.
Gnabry is another Vlahovic story. It feels like I don't know if it feels like the fans are leading this charge for Gnabry or Gnabry, shall we say?
They are.
You think that's what it is? Maybe the fans putting it all together. Yeah. It's kind of like what we did with Basuma as well. A lot of fans wanted Basuma. We kind of pushed that to look at his agent, giving the little hints to Arsenal. I know with Gnabry as well. An Arsenal staff member took a photo with him and put like the Sands time and hands like this, hinting that he's coming back home, a home sign soon. And fans went crazy like, he might be returning. It does feel like the fans are pushing it, but realistically, Jordan, it feels like he would be the perfect fit for. This is the thing. That's what's the most frustrating thing. We're trying to do Arsenal a job here.
As I said,
we're helping them.
I think he would do well in our Mikel Arteta system. He's hardworking, back and forward. He gets goals. He gets assists. I think we need to elevate ourselves in that particular part of the field anyway. And also, if you can put him on the left-hand side, you can then free up Martinelli to play through the middle, and then you haven't got to buy two strikers.
That'd be dangerous.
Do you know what I mean? Nice. You just got to buy one big striker then, rather than two. So there's a lot of logic to, I think.
One big striker, but is the one big striker for you Jesus that fits the next? In my system, that would...
I would like him or Osimhen.
Okay.
Those are the two that I would like. I like Gabriel Jesus. I think the money they're talking is a lot, but we need a forward. You can't. If you know one thing from last season, the teams that had a goal scorer and the teams that banged, United just were rubbish. Ronaldo's goals couldn't save them, but the guys that had goals.
But did they? Goal scorer, not a main striker. As I said this with Turkish the other day. Like I feel like the game nowadays is getting rid of that traditional number 9.
That's what I mean. Who's our goal? We haven't got a goal scorer. Who's our goal scorer? Who's our goal scorer?
Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe.
Emil Smith-Rowe. Yeah. We didn't even play half the game or start half the game. So we need someone that when we go into a game against Everton, Southampton, even the top team, we know that's our goal scorer.
But they can't be shared around the team?
They can, but I still think you need that one guy that if he gets half a chance, we can bank on him. All right. Last season, who was the guy? You were banking on Saka.
You're banking on Saka, yeah.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah, and teams clocked that as well, and they flushed it out. I'm going to quickly move on because apologies, we spent a lot of time there.
Sorry.
That was the main topic of the day anyway, Gnabry, because Gnabry, I really want to speak about him. I quickly got a comment here which I actually was going to bring up in a little runaway bit of news. Is from Ollie320 says, look, I really do not want Gnabry at all. We have Emil Smith-Rowe is up for PFA and Martinelli PFA award, who has been given the iconic number 11 and who is a box office act anyway. We don't need him. The reason why I want to just highlight that anyway, one, because I think it's Emil Smith-Rowe and Saka that have been part for Young Player of the Year award through the PFA awards. You go to that, and I wanted to ask: are you not all the time, but I know you've been.
Yeah.
I'm quite annoyed that I work with the PFA.
No bring in.
Bro, I work with the PFA. I mentor players. They know it. Please. And the LFE and the PFA, they said, don't worry, there'll be a year we're going to bring. No. Anyway.
Phone ain't ringing now.
It's not ringing.
No love.
I want to go there. My brothers have, listen, PFA, I have so much connections in there. PFA. But anyway, firstly, are you going, do you know if you're going this year or you're...
I don't know if I'm going this year. I might have a date conflict, but potentially.
Okay, it's a great prestigious award, and again, my time is due. It's coming. Especially after I know it's not the PFA, after my performance in the Champions League final against Liverpool as Eder Militao. They should be hollering that. But just quickly, he said about we've got other players, box of Martinelli, he's been given that number 11 shirt. Does that play any mind to you that players getting these numbers? Nowadays, does it matter? I mean, I keep going off topic of what the news is, but someone was talking about Eddie Nketiah getting a 14, and I said I don't care about numbers, but that can't happen. I'm sorry, there's no disrespect to the player.
I don't think the players have been given particular numbers, i.e. a 10 or a 9 or whatever it may be, indicates that guy's going to necessarily play more next season.
Yeah.
I think the numbers are given out now because of marketing reasons.
Right.
So I think the number 10 is probably the most marketable number.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? In football. So Middlesbrough getting that didn't, and it's been proven. He didn't get necessarily that many starts last year.
No.
Do you know what I mean? But the number 10 is a marketing.
It drives sales as well.
Of course it does.
When you drive sales, and Martinelli being the number he was to now, that's going to drive more sales to that number 11. Same with Saka. Like, they're the top players right now at Arsenal, so they're going to want to give him numbers to, like you said,
I don't think it means it. I don't think, you got the number 10 shirt, he'll be starting next season.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily.
The weight of that's kind of gone. All right, let's go on to Aaron Hickey, Jordan. I don't know if you know too much about him, but he's a left back, very close to signing at Arsenal now, I believe it, from reports in Italy. They're saying 21.75 million. Obviously, he's coming from Bologna, same place we got Tomiyasu from. Young, 19 years old, had a very good season. Whether he's coming in to be second fiddle to Kieran Tierney, or for me, you know my thoughts. I kind of want him to. If anyone's going to come left back, I need someone to kind of really challenge for that number 1 spot, because we can't rely on Kieran Tierney with his fitness record. But he's been likened to Andrew Robertson, this player as well. Very young, very talented, very forward thinking as well. I do need to do some more research on his defensive attributes. I hear a lot about him being very attacking and good with ball, good dribbler, good crosser, but. For me, I am still old school in the mindset of, like, I want my defenders to defend, I want my goalkeepers to save shots, I want my strikers to score goals. So it'll be interesting to find out more on him, but it is seeming very close. I don't know if he's a very attractive signing.
I don't care about
that. When it's left back.
Get the right side, not the big one.
Right.
I won't lie, I don't know too much about this Don. I've read a little bit on him. I'll be alive, so I knew a lot about him.
Right.
But I'm with you in that if the reports are that he's more of an attacking fullback than a defensive fullback, for me, that only really works when you're putting up Trent numbers. You can only get forgiven for defensive deficiencies if you're putting up 15 assists a season.
Facts.
8 goals a season. If my fullback's getting 5 to 8 goals a season, I can forgive every now and again. But for me, defend first. So that concerns me a little bit.
Yeah.
That he's known as more of an attacking fullback than a defensive one. I think we need to. If Saliba doesn't come back, I would like a centre back to come in. I like Gabriel and I like White, but I'm not convinced they're going to be good enough now to compete with United, Chelsea, Tottenham, and a Newcastle or a Villa that I think are going to come big this year. I would like to see us go out and get the best centre back we can possibly get to play alongside Gabriel. If Saliba comes in, I'm prepared to let Arteta work it out between the 3 of them and get 2 of the 3 of them playing. But I think the defence is really important. We mustn't ignore the defence.
It is, Jordan, but not getting frustrating? Arteta seems to always be looking at working on the defence. Every year he talks about, I want to strengthen the defence. And it's like, when are you going to start strengthening going forward? Because
I agree.
We keep working from the back and it's getting us 8th, 5th. People will say there's improvement there, but it feels frustrating. He's always like, I understand you were saying, defence is important, but we need to start progressing forward now, don't you think, in other positions?
We do, but 13 defeats is disgraceful.
2 seasons in a row, by the way.
That is disgraceful, Cecil.
2 seasons in a row.
So for me, that says to me that although we moved up 3 places, we're still losing a lot of games, and defensive is obviously the whole team thing. But the back 4 had a better year, but still not good enough to get top 4 for me. So for me, yes, I want to get a striker, and we need a striker. That should be the priority. A winger for me would be nice. 2 midfielders I think are essential. But if we don't get a Saliba back, I think Arsenal need to invest in a proper centre back. And I'm liking the fact that this left back guy is gonna come in. I hope he does replace Kieran Tierney.
Yeah.
I love Tierney.
Yeah.
But for me, I need a back 4 that I can rely on.
Yeah, and Darren Eastman here in the chat says 1v1 Hickey, very good and both footed. Okay. Joe says Hickey is an excellent young player. We would loved him to come back to Celtic. We let him go far too easy. Is it Celtic or Hearts? That's interesting. So people are listening. A lot of people bigging him up, and also his injury record is very, very good. I heard he missed 1 game this year.
Until he comes to Arsenal. You know what I mean? And this guy's missing every other game.
He missed 1 game this year through coronavirus. That's the only game he missed. So he's got a good injury record or absence record, shall we say. But you're right. Until they turn up at Arsenal, like Partey, you never know what can happen.
And I'm scared as well, because you know that when he messes up, they're going to have fun. The headline writers will be surname. they're gonna have a lot of fun with his surname. So I'm a bit that worries me a little bit as well. But anyway, we move.
Yeah, very good point. I will briefly just speak on Gabriel Jesus. I won't spend too long on him, but obviously heavily linked to Arsenal. His price is going up though. Arsenal rated a great offer, perhaps even 50 million euros to 60 million euros. But they are currently in pole position. This is one of the outlets I read as Cal Cia Merto. So yeah, I think a lot of people are linking that Gabriel Jesus is looking like he's a favourite for Arsenal. Obviously, Tottenham are competing with us. But again, it's like what you said earlier. It's down to what the player wants in his career, because he's going to look at Kane and Son and think, oh, where will I fit into this system, or am I coming for the bag? I think if you're looking for your own career to progress, I think Arsenal look a better project than Tottenham. It depends. You look at Conte. You might look at Conte and think, I might get more from him as a manager, but that depends if you're going to get game time, really.
Yeah, and he might back himself to go Spurs and take Kane's spot. He's not better than Harry Kane, but he might well back himself to do a thing there. So I like Gabriel Jesus. I like that he can play through the middle. I think he's proven that at City that he's not quite an elite striker, but next tier down. And I think that's probably about our level. We're not going to get an elite striker. We're not going to get a Kane, Lewandowski, Benzema. We're not going to get on that bracket. But I think the next tier down, I think we can get.
Should fans be lowering their expectations and looking at those sort of the second tier players? Because I saw a comment in here saying like we're talking about second tier players and all this, but Arsenal haven't really been for many years right at the moment been a team that goes in for big top tier.
So I would ask that texter in who give us some name. Who are the people that we should be getting? Because the people that I bet he will name, we ain't getting.
They're not going to come.
Now maybe he's got a point in that we shouldn't be just accepting that we're not going to. Why can't we get? Why can't we get? I don't know who's the hot boy. Why couldn't we got Haaland?
Yeah.
Put the money. We got the money for it.
But why can't we? Yeah.
But then we're not in the Champions League, and the manager's not convincing anyone yet. So those are the reasons why. It's not about lowering standards. It's about being realistic. Do you know what I mean? And Gabriel Jesus for me feels like a realistic signing. What I'll say about him as well is the longer we drag this out, the more the price will go up. Arsenal have got to be assertive. Yeah. This is the deadline.
Why do we
this is the fee. So if you're not interested in Man City and his agent, fine, we're moving on.
Yeah.
But my theory is we're going to drag, and every time we drag it, every week that goes by, it's going up by an extra 3, 4, 5 mil. Be assertive, be aggressive, take control. Do you want to come? Cool, let's get it done. But the more this, you're right, every week's going up.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Because we're allowing it to go up.
That's what happens. Yes, what happens. It's happened in January as well. The same with Isaac. Like, it just went up and up and up, and it gets frustrating as a fan. I know I try to convince you to just get involved in it, Jordan. At the start of the show, like, come on, just play with the media and all that. Enjoy it. It is the most tiresome thing going through summer, and I love,
especially as an Arsenal fan, because we're known for just dragging these things out, and then 9 times out of 10 we don't even get the guy in the end.
And I love Robbie. Obviously, he's not boss; he's my closest friend, but he does a whole transfer daily every day, Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week.
Robbie's better than me. Tell you that Robbie's a better man than me, because I couldn't do that show. I don't know
how he does it.
He's good.
I don't know how he does it. And he's got, listen, big respect to him. Finds motivation, reads all the news, gets up and gets out to you lot. But every day we're linked to someone.
Everyone. You know what I mean? Everyone we're linked to. This is like, pick your player. Next week is going to be Martial. Yeah. Next week it's going to be, I don't know, Pau Torres.
Like, it's crazy.
Everyone. It's like, what's going on?
It's crazy. And then you end up with 1 or 2. And it's underwhelming, but
I'm not here for it.
It is what it is. And on that, players being available and is different, linked to different people. Obviously, Paul Pogba not returned to United. He's leaving at the end of his contract in June. He's likely to go to Juve, but would you have wanted a Pogba at Arsenal? Would he have worked?
I thought about Pogba. I think we wouldn't have got him for the reasons earlier when I mentioned my fear about Gabriel Jesus. I think Pogba wants to go to an elite club that's in the Champions League.
Could Arteta have handled him?
That's a good question.
Be honest, let's be real.
Pogba. His record with senior players isn't great. Let's have it right. It's not great, so maybe not. My bigger concern would be, as much as I was thinking, why don't we go for Paul Pogba?
Yeah.
My bigger concern would be, where we play him. I don't think we need a Paul Pogba type player.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But where would you play Paul Pogba?
I don't know. Everyone will kind of say alongside Partey, but I don't think that even works. It's too deep. You can't really play him.
If you're playing Paul Pogba, it's got to be either a flat three, or you've got to play him as a 10 in the final third. Do you know what I mean? And we don't really play a 10 like that anymore. So as much as I would love him, you might be getting a motivated Paul Pogba to prove people wrong. I think Paul Pogba's done with the Premier League now. I think he in himself is a bit like, you know what? I've been here twice now. It's just not working. Let me just Let me move on.
Do you think that's because of the scrutiny from the media, or just because he thinks?
I think partly, but I think as we saw with Ozil, in my humble opinion, and Mkhitaryan to a degree as well, I just think some players aren't suited to this league.
Yeah.
I just think some players are just not suited to the Premier League, and I think he's one of them as well. I mean, he's athletic, he's got technique, he's got a strike in him. If you're getting Paul Pogba, for me, you have to build the team around him.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Unfortunately,
and Arsenal, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. Arsenal. AFC Max with a super chat says, "Hey, welcome to Transfer Daily. With all the players we're linked with, which we will sign some of and probably miss out on the other, but we'll tell you about them anyway, even though some are unrealistic." Now that is it, really. That is Arsenal, though. That's not just Transfer Day. That is Arsenal Football Club. That is Arsenal Football Club on a regular. We've linked everyone.
I just want the team to get the deals done soonish this time. The season starts a couple of weeks earlier because of the World Cup. You know, holidays are being had right now. I just think that we need to get players in early now. Maybe because of social media era, where you guys are following social media, and when things don't happen tomorrow, we get a bit more impatient.
Yeah.
But because the window's not even open yet, technically.
Yeah, you're right.
But do I have faith that when the window opens, there'll be a couple man lined up to come in? Not really.
But we get frustrated because that's the generation, personally, I'm in as well. We want things fast, want things done properly. We see other clubs as well, Jordan. It's not like other clubs are waiting as well. That's what makes it so frustrating.
Other clubs have started their process 6 months ago.
And we feel, I don't know if I'm not going to say I can't speak for all fans, but I feel like we're one of the furthest behind. Yes, we've improved, but of course, the clubs above us and what we should be looking at. Tottenham are ahead of us. Chelsea are ahead of us. Obviously, Man City. These are players that are above us, and Liverpool, they're way ahead. So I get so frustrated.
By this time next week, I reckon De Jong will be at United. That's a deal done.
Yeah,
why are we dragging our feet? We know who we want. Do you know what I mean? Get the deals done. It's like. It's annoying. It's really
annoying. It is. I've got another super chat here as well. Really difficult to pronounce this person's name, but Dasaf, I'm going to go with. It's going to be Gnabry or Jesus, not both. They play the same roles. Ivan Toney and Gnabry is more likely. And where is Robbie with Transfer Daily?
See, people are going to cook me for this comment, but as a second striker, I've been saying for a couple of weeks now, I want Toney.
Yeah, they shouldn't cook you.
People are laughing like, oh, Toney. Toney is a second striker. I think brings you 10 to 12 goals. Something different up front in that he'll be a target man. He takes pens. I think he's a hard worker. He's got a year in the Premier League under his belt as well. And I don't think he would be... I think you could get Toney for 30 million.
So Arsenal's argument would be, we have Eddie Nketiah for that. Apart from holding up the ball, which actually I think he did towards the end of the season. They'll be like, we're not going to waste. Why waste money? We've just given this young player this.
I forgot about Nketiah.
And he does what you just kind of mentioned there. But I was a fan of Ivan Toney. If we got rid of Eddie Nketiah, it was him and Jesus would be great. I think they're both different style of profiles.
I think if he's our second striker, Toney, I wouldn't want him as our main forward, but second forward, I'd take Toney.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Osimhen and Toney, or Jesus and
Tony.
That's the guy, man.
Osimhen is the one, I think. We're going to kind of round up on remembering Reyes, obviously 3 years to this day. He passed RIP, a legend. I want to get obviously your thoughts on that. He passed obviously in a car crash on the motorways. His tyre blew out and was a legend, was an invincible. But yeah, just your thoughts now.
I remember when we signed him from La Liga, and there was a bit of hype, not a lot, but a little bit of hype that this guy could be the next one. I remember Wenger talking him up a lot and being really excited about him. I was very excited about him as well. He didn't quite live up to expectation. He did have one, maybe two quite naughty injuries that kind of really messed him up a little bit. His record for Arsenal was okay. It wasn't great, it wasn't crap, it was okay. I just remember him being a hard worker. I remember getting some big goals against the likes of Bolton, I remember. Everton in some big games on the way to some cups that we picked up. And obviously it's very, very sad that it's 3 years ago that he's passed away. I don't think he'll go down as an Arsenal legend, but I think he'll go down as a modern day winger that made an impression on the football club, on the pitch. Never had any issues when he left. It didn't work out, and I think it was time for him to move on. As I remember, I think was it Valencia he went back to? Wherever he went back to, or wherever he went, he did really well. I remember him he left us and did really, really well. So Yeah, RIP to Reyes.
Yeah, RIP, and that's perfectly well put there. I don't think he'll go down as one of those Arsenal legends, but he's definitely an Arsenal great in the time that he came and played as a winger. But that is kind of coming towards the end of our show. I do want to reiterate, Transfer Daily will return, people. It should be coming back on Friday. I know everyone's asking, where's Robbie? Where is it? I know it's like a drug to a lot of people, waking up in the morning hearing his voice and this sounds mad, hearing his voice and getting that news of transfers here at Arsenal direct to you. That will be coming back, I believe, Friday. So do look out for that. We are going to be back on the road doing that. And there'll be other shows as well throughout the week. Shref with Super Chat here. Cecil gets a trim and shaves off his moustache, gets himself some tattoos. Man's going to look like Nick Cannon. Yeah! In other words, we need a real striker, not Gnabry. Well, I've been linked to Eden Militao. That's my connection. That's fully wild. I'm not going to be shaving any of that off. I'll stick with my centre-back roots. But yeah, listen, big up everyone in the chat who joined today and was listening and watching. Please hit the like before you leave. Jordan, thank you so much for joining me again.
Come on, bro.
It's always a pleasure to get your thoughts,
Anytime, man. I'm here.
And yes, if you like this video, like I said, hit a like, subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you again on the next AFTV Live. Take care, people.